Mr. Desai, how are you doing?
I am doing well. Atif, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Where did you go? You didn't get the notification?
Yes, I didn't get the notification. I
You
think
were
I
the one
have.
who actually set up the call, so how come you didn't get it?
It was your Calendly.
Yeah, it was my calendar, yeah, but
So I know this is weird. I'm not the best with technology. And
Okay, okay.
I assumed once I set the time, I would just get an automatic notification in my Gmail, and then it just left my mind. My apologies.
It is no, it is wonky. I have a lot of recommendations for Zoom to improve their UX because they may have the best technology and interface, but there is always room for improvement in an interface because our needs are constantly changing, psychological needs, and that's why there is a never-ending learning curve with when it comes to user experience and interface. So sometimes I have to send two emails, when I get the set the schedule, and then I have to add attendees. Otherwise, I don't get sometimes the notification as well. And then, of course, the I don't know if you are aware of Zoom bombing.
Where that's where people jump in, like
Yes,
random
yes,
people. Yeah.
yes. So Zoom has failed basically in solving a solution for that. So there should be a solution, right? Some sort of drop down or dongle where you can the host should be able to block anyone. It's not there. So Zoom, if you are listening, and if you anyone from Zoom watches this, my I have this proposition along with Mr. Desai. He's got a wonderful app. So tell me a little bit about yourself. I installed your app as well. It's a brilliant idea, and I created my listing as well. I'm not sure if you are able to see as well.
I
Uh,
didn't notice it yet, but what was the listing for?
for music, live music.
Okay, so you play music. Yeah,
Yes,
awesome.
yes, yes.
That's great. We'll share it definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I really love the idea of renta because there is so many stuff lying around our house which we need them. We hoard them. We don't use them. It's occasional use, and somebody can always use that. And just the general concept is very, very amazing. And so tell me, go on. It's your platform. It's your story. Tell me how,
Yeah,
how
so
out yourself
so
a little bit and your story, and then how you came up with the idea.
sure, I just hope I don't talk too long.
No, no, no. You go on, go on. Now I'll stop now, and now it's your mic is in your hand.
Yeah. Yeah, my background, I was born and raised in New York and Brooklyn and raised in Staten Island.
Okay, great.
My family's from India.
Hmm.
I traveled. I studied philosophy in college. I was like a little bit of a hippie, right? Like very idealistic and
Great, great.
wondering my place in the world.
Hmm.
Um, I became a adjunct professor of international relations,
Hmm.
geography.
Great.
That shaped my perspective. I became like a little bit less hippie and I became more understanding of why people are the way they are. And a lot of it is shaped by the environment. And so what you believe is good in one place would not work in another place, right? And it changed my perspective. Uh, I am still idealistic though, and I am still aware that there's a lot of issues in the world. And so for me, what I thought Renta was basically a way to help not fix, but just like help smooth over some of the issues, right? Like, and it's this idea of like, what do we do for work? I
Right,
know so many people are applying for jobs and can't find jobs.
right.
Uh, I'm a professor. I know my students are going to struggle, and some of them are not the best in their own way, right? So it's not even like they're all amazing. Like, and
That's right.
I'm wondering, like, how can we compete when it comes to money, right? People are willing to work for cheaper elsewhere, not to mention like all the other issues we have with like sustainability, consumerism. And so rent is this idea that you could rent out any good service or space. And so we all have stuff in our home. And
Yes.
we all might have skills that we haven't figured out how to monetize yet. Like if you're great at picking out outfits, there's some divorced dad that doesn't know how to dress,
That's right.
right? Like rent yourself out as like a personal shopper. And
Right.
who knows what that could inspire than you in the future.
Absolutely.
Um, I mean, look, I rambled a little bit too long, like on
No,
this.
no, no,
Like,
no,
there's
no, no,
too
no.
much
Go
to
on.
talk
It's
about.
amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, the idea is I just want something that's helpful for people. Free. It's in the philosophy of Craigslist. We all have something, we all need something, and we need to start helping each other as opposed to asking the government for help or hoping we're going to hit the lottery, right? It's just like little things we need to do, and I want to help move that along a little bit.
Right. That's great. I mean, I couldn't agree more with you. And as an app designer myself and a product designer myself, I have seen a zillion apps, with regards to selling, stuff that is extra lying around. And then Facebook Marketplace is like a giant world in its own, and it has displaced everything from OfferUp to Zappa. There are a million apps, Swappa, and so many others, and Marcati, something like that, as something some Marcari, something like that. Anyway, so but the way you have positioned, and I love the fact that you have a philosophical background and in philosophy insights, because philosophy is really important in whatever you do. They say, Bruce Lee was an amazing martial artist because he was a MA philosophy. And psychology might be able to tell you how to do things, but philosophy tells you why to do things. And
I love that.
yeah, and
Uh,
I started writing philosophy when I was 17 years old, 18 years old. And I was a professional copywriter for, all my life. And I started my career as a professional copywriter. So, and I've written several books as well, made documentaries and, recorded songs and written songs as well. But, and last year around, I was thinking of making a documentary. I made a documentary called Education versus IT. As a professor yourself, I think you will really enjoy it. It's available everywhere on Tubi, on Amazon, and everywhere.
oh,
And yeah, and won a couple of awards as well. And but what? So my next documentary was on COVID, and it is,
okay.
yeah, it's half completed. I don't have time to edit it because it showed how vulnerable humanity is, talking about hippie mindset, and how fragile life is, and just a virus can dismantle our way of living. So and there is always not always, especially in this case, we had 100 years of learning since the Spanish flu. And I still want to package that documentary, and talking I now I have to definitely complete it, because the next or somewhere in between, I started thinking about making a documentary called Need for Greed. And that we have so much wastage around us, and not only in resources, not only in terms of monetary disbalance or disparity, but emotions, productivity, like you mentioned renta. There we have this another app where you can almost even on Craigslist as well, you can hire people, specific people, to do jobs. And but the way you have positioned your app is fantastic. And I am a very the only thing that I'm guilty in life is wastage, so even if it's tissue paper, I have to be, I feel guilty, throwing it away. And not that I'm a hoarder. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I believe in minimalism. 2 years ago, I discovered this philosophy of minimalism, and I thought that this is what I am. This is what I wanted to be. Coming from a background where I used to pay, double the amount of money for luggage, than what my airfare used to be. you know, because it was I had this, anxiety that, I might need something which was totally useless, and then carrying that luggage around and then bringing it back again and paying again. So and then like, been there, done that. I've also I'm not a professor in geography, but I have traveled all across the globe. So the stories are same, the faces are different. And we really need this kind of an app because it's a lifestyle shift. Though the promise may be old, but the way you are utilizing it is incredibly amazing. Because, for example, just I feel that I pay $600 for my car, insurance plus the financing, and I don't even utilize $200 of it. It's just standing, I go to the gym, I go to the concerts, go to comedy, and friends and family and basic stuff. So I don't utilize it. So and then there are like Turo, companies like that
Yep.
that can take your car. But the beauty of your app is it's mobile first. So it's conceived like that. And there are no hoops. You just create your profile and you're in. And you just create your listing and your listing is there. So that's fantastic. And again, for example, I have a keyboard. I have not used it in last 6 months because I've been playing all my life. I don't need to practice, so somebody can utilize it. And same is about monitors. My studio monitors, speakers, and I sold them because I was not using it. But now I need them and I have to buy again. So
Hey, can I add one thing?
sure.
So I love everything you're saying, by the way, and I'm learning so much. But also, I just want to add, as you mentioned, like my hope is when you rent out that keyboard and somebody uses it, they're gonna then ask you, do you know how to play keyboard? And then it'll be like, hey, can you tutor me?
Yes.
Right? And then the idea is that's another listing, right? So it's a service. And then in the process of you tutoring this kid, maybe you discover something, the kid ends up marrying your niece, then you can rent out a event hall. The idea is, but that's why everything about rent is the philosophy.
That's right.
It's not our technology. We
Mm.
don't have any special technology. And I think that's the problem with the technological space now. They're trying to hyper fat, just make it easy and
That's right.
relaxed.
That's right.
All right. And so that I appreciate you getting it. And I hope you're not just saying all these nice things because I'm on the
No,
show.
no, no,
like
no, no,
that
no, no,
you
no. I am the
uh,
last person who says nice things because I'm skeptical and always seeing things from a critical point of view. And but again, if something jumps out of the speaker, then I cannot help it because it's overwhelming because it's good. So I am also working on an app called Toxi, as you might have seen on my profile, and it's also the common element that I see between your Renta and Toxi is that it's somehow engaging human beings,
yeah.
because yeah, companies are making money and producers are making money and consumers are spending money, but the human bond is missing. And when you're talking about renta, whether it is about writing lessons, whether it is about dance lessons, whether it's about walking your dog or anything at all, I see the connection between material and human beings,
Yes.
and
Exactly.
that as a source of bond. Because when we talk about embracing the universe and manifestation, then we have to somehow connect with the physical world as well. And then we have these things around us, but the thing is that we end up start using people and valuing technology or valuing material. We should be using material and valuing people. So that's the common element and the common thread that I feel between Toxi and because again, for me as well, I was a big concern that the algorithm keeps on switching, and this creator economy, all this. For example, before there was a huge media empire everywhere, and Hollywood and everywhere there were celebrities, and we were following celebrities, whether it is in Bollywood as well. And now every influencer is a celebrity, and those celebrities feel left out because those celebrities were manufactured by studios, and these people are real people. But the problem is,
Yep.
again, once again, the status quo is there. The 2% or 5% or 10% or 20% people are making money. Rest of them make less than $100. So I'm making this app Toxi, where you can charge for voice calls $5 for 5 minutes, and video calls $10 for 5 minutes. So they will have, because again, at the end of the day, they are reels, whether it is TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and these are reels and they're pre-recorded and sometimes it's live, and they don't get paid anything for it. Facebook is making money, making advertising on that, selling advertising on that. What are you getting? Nothing. YouTube gives you money. You should be more profitable if you start collecting bottles outside. So there is this gap, and basically we are all working for those companies, and they are making money on our behalf.
Yes.
Created their infrastructure. They have created, for example, you have created your app, and now through that app, people should be making money, and again, they are geniuses. They are gods of their own social media world, and though they know the in and out, they know how the psychology shifts, and they shift the technology accordingly. And sometimes they what is that word for it, subliminally they shift the technology, and then our psychology shifts, and sometimes, so yeah, I mean, I really congratulate you that you created this app, and being a professor, coming from a different background, but since you feel for your students, and you see there is a huge gap between education and earning that's being created, and people like me who are making movies now, that whether education is even necessary, now,
Well,
because
traditional education, but
yeah,
educate, yeah.
I mean, again, there are question marks, because in California, they are okay with homeschooling, and some people see, with a hippie mindset, they see this as indoctrination. So there are, multiple angles, and before, people used to do graduation and spend money on student loans and all, and then they knew that they would get a job in a specific sector and they'll be able to pay off that amount.
Yep.
But the problem is that things are getting challenging, and it's because the business model. And today we are. I don't know if in last 500 years somebody would have thought that there would be a time that Howard will be in the courts fighting for its grants. Harvard University. So and they are being so to say, deprived of their resources, and I have this I also did a podcast with him initially. Then he became a friend. Then he became an advisor. And Councilman Jeff Stunkard, he has a host of apps called Neuralum. Again, in context of youngsters, how to improve their mental health and deploying technology. And he had a grant from National Institute of Health with University of Pennsylvania. They were doing this project, and then suddenly their grant has been cut off by NIH because of the new government. So, but what I'm trying to say is that why did I mention Jeff Stunkard? I think it's got to be more than name dropping. Uh, yeah, so there is a lot of surge, in terms of securing the future for our youngsters, and then this mental health crisis because of the social media challenges. And in fact, I have another project called U2Go, dot app, in which you're and the subject of this podcast is also attention economy, and our attention span is now 1 second more than a goldfish, so we even blame the goldfish of the lack of attention. So yeah, it's amazing. And so tell me, how is it growing? When did you launch it?
I mean, I started building this a long time ago, and we made a lot of mistakes. We had a lot of competition. So around 2014, like 10 years,
Oh, really?
this
Wow.
was the beginning of the idea
Uh-huh.
and raising money. And but like I said, my background was in geography. I don't know anything about tech. So like,
No,
and
but if
I was trying to do this with like $15,000, like
right,
thinking like, and I wasted all of it, and then it just kept expanding. But we always had this idea and vision, and then we would always build something. It wouldn't do that great. Then we put it out again. We rebuild it. I'm a little crazy. So I think over the last year, we finally got into a good rhythm,
okay.
of like where we are. We
Uh-huh.
have around 10,000 users, like spread around the United States and Canada,
Mhm.
and some in like England and Australia. So it's random,
Uh-huh.
which hurts us a little bit because sometimes you won't find what you're looking for, but the seeds are being planted
Right.
in terms of how it works. And yeah, we have a good rhythm now. We have around 80,000 items on the app as
Okay.
well. And, we're adding new features like FaceTime, things to elicit trust so you could
Oh,
talk to each other.
great.
So really, like now the product is getting to the point where I'm happy with it. It took a
Okay.
long time, and I think it's like one of those things, I don't know, maybe I'm just, but it takes a long time to make something look simple, and
Of course, of course. Of
I
course. I
feel
mean,
like that's where we are and figuring out the philosophy. I also feel like the world needed some time to catch up to this.
of course,
I
of
think
course.
with the economic struggles, I think with the AI fears, I think with things like tariffs and wars and people are a lot more conscious now of how they spend their money.
That's
I
correct.
think now we have a vessel where once people find us, I think we'll grow,
Right.
And so
Okay.
that's why we connected because I put an ad out on LinkedIn looking for co-founders, investment, where for a long time I wasn't taking any investment money because the idea is grand and it's risky. Like no VC wants to hear
Right.
who's your target market? Everybody.
Right.
What's your differentiator? Philosophy. Like this is not the average person doesn't invest. The average VC doesn't invest in this. So
Yeah.
I just knew I needed to create a vessel
Hmm.
and that when the times are right, I know people will come. And
Hmm.
that was right. If you build it, they will come. And so that's really what I gambled on. And it was a gamble.
Right.
But I think now the time is ripe and
Okay.
people want something. And because I never took any investment money, I can keep the app free forever. Like I could stay true to my philosophy. No other app can do that because their investors are greedy and they're going to demand more and more every year, whether it's
Right.
taking your data, adding more advertisement,
Right.
making you pay more to promote yourself within it, increasing the fees, all of that stuff. I'm not doing any of that. I don't take your data. As you saw from the beginning of this podcast, I'm not even that good at technology. Like, in fact, I don't even like technology.
Mhm.
I just want something simple for the people, really, and that's our goal. So
Right.
I believe we're there. I believe we're $1 million away from being a $10 million company immediately,
Hmm.
and then I believe after that year, nobody's doing really what we're doing, or at least has the 10 years of failure behind them
Right.
to prove that
Right.
I am about this philosophy. Like you can find somebody that might build something better and
Right.
do something better, but I
Right.
don't know anybody that cares as much.
Uh-huh. So you launched it in 2014?
Yeah, 24, 20, no, but like I started building it in 2014. I think our first release was like 2015 or
Okay. Yeah,
2016
yeah. I
in
mean,
the App Store.
that was the peak of all these apps, OfferUp and Swappa and
Yeah, exactly.
Bali and all those. Those were the times, because I used to sell a lot of photography equipment and purchase. So that was the prime time, and then Facebook came around, I think 2018 or something, and then with Marketplace.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history. In 2020, during COVID, I was almost dead, half past dead. And then we sold everything that we possessed, and we were planning to move to California. But then something miraculous. I don't know. I don't believe in miracles, but something happened. The next day, I was absolutely okay. So Facebook Marketplace was the place where we sold like more than 15, $20,000 material, again, possessions. And I so yeah, I mean, it's a long way that you have come. And I think it's great. Again, Facebook again would be your competition when it comes to marketplace. But again, your interface is far more interactive and enticing, in the sense that although I'm extremely impressed by Facebook's marketplace, especially in context of automobiles, how they have given in mileage, and the number of years, and the Carfax and all those things. I'm extremely mesmerized by them. But the way you have philosophy is important, because these people, all these people, Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and Elon Musk and all these people, they are all philosophers. They are visionaries, basically. So if you have a vision, then sooner than later things start falling into the right place. And that was important. And now with your app, I see that differentiation. I think that can be more pronounced in terms of because essentially what you are targeting is a lifestyle shift, a lifestyle impact. And once that people get the hang of that, because like you were mentioning, it was 10 years ago. John Lennon's Imagine was 50 years ago, but people are still catching up to it. No country, no religion, things like that. People are still pondering, and only now they are getting, they are realizing what's truth from false. So, yeah, I mean, it's great. And I am a designer. I had few bugs or ideas, so to say, because again, when I'm like I said, uh, the most important thing is the promise and the problem. Uh, Two pros, problem and promise. Between that, there is the idea. And so when these two are intact, the dynamics and the mechanics and the look can change. And then there can be a paradigm shift as well. Because if it is easy to adopt, because like you said, it's in music we say that it's very especially if you listen to A.R. Rahman, his it's his music is so complicated, but it sounds so simple.
Yeah.
So it's very complicated to make a simple thing, like you mentioned about your app. And it's very simple to make a complicated thing, to bells and whistles and things like that. But so It's good. And I instantly shared it, the link of the listing that I had created. But when I clicked it, it took to an online page, and it was saying that it's not accessible. So again, since you are not a
Yeah.
technical person, the QA side of it, I can certainly advise you on that. And also in terms of design, product design, because I for me, beauty is functionality. If it looks good, that means you are attracting people to use. It's enticing. And when they are enticed into it, they will definitely use it. Otherwise, all these people who are millionaires and billionaires and who have nothing to do with anything become authority. Like for me, Facebook is grotesque. Gmail, Google is grotesque. It's like a skeleton, it's not, and that's the reason Facebook died with the birth of Instagram, because it was stylish, it was hip, it was youthful, and it was mobile first. That was the main thing. And similarly, brands like Stripe, uh, Airbnb, they are surviving on beauty, and because it is enticing, it's attractive, and you start using it, and then you explore the functionality, and if it's beautiful, you can make them do anything. So like I don't know, Shelley said it, or who think of beauty is a joy forever. You know, so. Again, congrats and thank you so much, for your time as well. And let me know because I'm sold on your idea. In fact, I was watching an online pitching of some startups from England on YouTube live, and because most of the successful bids are in the cafes and in the coffee shops, and you just open your laptop and you show what it is about. So I had no idea. I saw your renta.com, and just like preparing 30 minutes ago, I downloaded it. First on your website, I was I thought that there should be something like that. It's like a good product is like a discovery. You found some island, and I said, yeah, let's see if it delivers what he's promising. And then I downloaded the iOS version, and then like I went into it with no glitch, because we have like 5, 6 screens of apps on our phones, but we hardly use maybe one or two maximum screens. Rest is all because these notifications are adding on to our attention span. And but I was in and out. I was able to scroll into the other people's listing and create my listing, and it was a very smooth experience. And I must say that without technical knowledge and background, you have accomplished a great product.
Well, I have a good team of people and developers, and people have always helped. We really built Renta in a way that was relevant to its philosophy. A lot of interns, part-timers,
Okay.
freelancers,
Okay.
people that have, and so, sometimes, but I got to see them also all move on, to like great places. And for the last few years, we have a really solid team now in terms of development and onboarding.
That's good.
And so we've really we learned a lot of things over these last 10 years, and
The
now
best
it's
lesson.
time to do it all simultaneously.
That's the best lesson because unfortunately or fortunately, although you are a teacher, but these last 15 years, those things are not in any books, and everything is on YouTube. So, uh, you have to learn on the go. And for me, mistakes and failures and are the best learnings, because again, you cannot find those things, especially as an entrepreneur. You would know that you can just learn by failing, and you jump in the pool and you jump off the cliffs, and you make your wings on the way down. So, and that's the joy for me as an entrepreneur, that solving that puzzle, gamifying it, and not taking it as a hindrance or a roadblock, or a fork in the road. Yeah, I mean, keep on keeping on with that. And again, philosophy is all that matters, because all these people, especially Jeff Bezos, says my favorite part of my day is when I'm discussing ideas. So when you're discussing ideas, it's basically philosophy. And you can get Mr. Chat GPT and other interns and other freelancers and people to help you out. But if you don't have a vision, if you don't have what you want to achieve in the end, then the conversation goes nowhere.
I appreciate that. You're right.
Okay, Anup, give
100%.
me a wrap up. A few minutes left. Tell me, if you want to recap anything or give
I
a message, because you're a philosopher and a hippie and as well. And Go
No,
Globetrot.
former hippie. I mean, now I'm kind of a capitalist, right? I'm in the business game. I just believe there's a healthier way of making money than nickel and diming. I want to be creative. I'm more about fame, so I'm more of like a creator. Like I don't know. I am my own self.
Mhm.
But I really am impressed by yourself.
Thank you
I
so much.
love I love that you did your research. I love that you talked to me and engaged and reached out to my ad. Um, and you have a lot of wisdom, and I'm going to look at some of your documentaries and the
Sure.
questions that you had. So I really appreciated
I
that.
I also made an app with a sense of purpose, like social entrepreneurship, social responsibility, called Life Immortal, where the organ donors and recipients can, create their profiles and match
Wow.
like a Tinder for organ donation space. Again, something that should have been done many decades ago, but I'm fortunate and lucky as an organ donor. I stepped forward and created something like that. And
What
again,
organ what organ did you donate? I know somebody that needs a kidney. Like
no,
they
no,
should use this app. Can it work in
yes,
New York?
absolutely, yeah, yeah, yeah. Try it. It's called Life Immortal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
review
on my
it.
it's on my LinkedIn as well. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, you can download it from there as well. So what I'm saying is that a sense of purpose is extremely important, and
Yes.
I again I did not do any research. Your app is so smooth that it just take few minutes because, like I said, I stop installing any app within 4 to 5 steps because again I am, like a chef myself, so I don't like other people's food. So, but yeah, your app is simple and functional, and yeah, it's great.
I appreciate it. So here's my final pitch.
Yeah.
Renta is an app where you can rent out any good service or space, really anything and everything. You can also request it a la Uber. So if you want something, say, hey, I want this. We will
Wow.
send it to an immediate radius. And if we have users there, they'll get a notification.
Great.
Now we are at the place where we need funding
Mhm.
so we can 1,000x our number of 10,000 users. And so that's the space that we're in now. And I think we've done enough research and knowledge, and we've proved we're in it for the long run,
Mhm.
where this is not just like a quick, rich scheme, but this is an endeavor I think that could go far. So hopefully one of your listeners, finds this
No, no, absolutely. I mean,
enticing. And then,
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, maybe they are not the investors, but every participant or every sign up is
exactly.
investor for you. And
Exactly.
the most beautiful aspect of a beautiful product is it's a win-win story. And so is in Renta. And just like Adam Smith, I always quote Adam Smith saying that ba- good business is basically social work. So
Yes.
you are connecting people through a material world and through access, through resources that could be wasted and end up in a landfill or what do you call the storage facility. So just lease it out to someone and enjoy the journey.
You're the man. And that storage that you talked about, I think that storage is also impacting our minds.
That's right.
I go into cluttered homes and I see things where there's just so much, and I'm like, it's got to be hard to think a little bit. And so, yeah, let's have a simpler way. So
Sure.
I appreciate you. Thank you
Thank you.
for having
Thank you
me
so much,
on.
Anup. Very nice talking to you.
All right, all the
All right,
best.
bye-bye. Bye. Bye.